Hey Ruben, how you doing? I've got your work up and I've got some comments, and let's take a look at the front. Now, I think the front of the brochure looks great. At this point, I would definitely have live text in place. Um, Absolutely, I would definitely not use lorem ipsum in there. Okay, so the way that this folds, the way that this would look is, I'm going to show you something, and I think it's going to make sense to you when I show it to you. Okay, so you've got a 16-inch wide file by 8.5. Okay, that's fine. But the way that you have this set up is that it's set up as a trifold. And I can see that over here because that is set up as a trifold. You can clearly see there's 1, 2, 3 panels. And we can see it again right there. So the issue is that as this trifolds, you'll have the cover here, then the middle here, and then the back panel, right? But let's look at the next page and see that the trifold would fold here right in the middle of your information. You see, if these were 3 equal panels, as a trifold would indicate, they would be, let me see, 15, 16, so it would be like right about there. So you can see, and then 5 plus another 5, that would be like 11. So it would be like there, and there would be your creases. So your creases are going to fall right in the middle of your type. So that's an issue. Other than that, I think the inside of this looks great. This area right down is begging for a logo, begging for a call out, some kind of a call out. How about a call for action, a call to action, as it were? And that's, I think, one of the things that I think your work is missing, is that there's no call to action. In other words, I'm a viewer, I read this. Okay, what can I do to help? Where can I send money? Who can I call? Who can I contact? Where's the URL? Where can I read more? Okay, and that's the main thing, I think, with that. Otherwise, your mock-ups look great. I think the trade show looks, the booth looks fantastic. Really great job there. And then, of course, your stress ball looks fantastic, too. Now, obviously, it looks like you've elected to go with that polyurethane stress ball. Both myself and I know that Gina, I know another one of your classmates recommended not doing that because of the unsustainable nature of poly anything, specifically if it ends up in a landfill. So that could be a really significant issue. The other thing is the presentation. Okay, the presentation here, we have materials for the booth, 2 balls, and a stand. But this assignment actually asks you to label everything. So in other words, what you should do is come in here and label this and say, okay, point to that and tell us what kind of paper you're using. Point to this, tell us what kind of ink you're using. Okay, and don't only tell us what kind of ink it is. Tell us why it's the most sustainable choice. Okay, that makes sense. Presumably, you're going to have to show this, presumably and hypothetically, you're going to have to show this report to a client, the client who you're designing this booth for. And they're going to have questions, and some of those questions are going to be, well, prove to me it's sustainable. What is the paper made from? So we might as well circumvent that and tell them up front. Paper's made from post-consumer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Non-bleached, chlorine-free, et cetera, et cetera. The ink is a soy-based, non-toxic, low UV, and then go on from there, et cetera, okay? And then let's go over here, and then that looks great, good mock-up there. And then go to your booth and do the same thing, okay? Point to that globe, tell us what it's made from, tell us the materials and why it's the most sustainable. All right, point to the booth, point to the balls, point to these posters, point to that TV, point to the backdrop, point to the stands on those. Tell us what it's all made from. Take it a step further, Ruben. Don't just say these are made from, aluminum extrusions or whatever. Tell us, the globe stands are made from 100% recycled aluminum extrusions according to so-and-so, and then do your research and tell us why that's the most sustainable choice. So find a company and find out why you think whatever material you choose for that particular part of the presentation, whatever it's made from, you have to research and decide, and then tell us what you've found. And don't just say it's sustainable stainless steel. Say it's why it's sustainable. Prove it's sustainable by showing research or pointing to a source that indicates its sustainability. Okay, and then tell us why it's the most sustainable and responsible choice. And do that for every one of your elements in this. And I'm telling you, that's the formula for success in this project. At the beginning of this project, remember, I said it's just as important to show sustainability as it is to show design. And it is. And I think we're all seeing that. Same thing with the stress ball. Let's get in here. Tell us what that is made from. Tell us why it's the most sustainable. And also the ink that it's being printed on. What kind of ink is it? What kind of the ink process, printing process is it? Okay, so you're almost there. You're close, real close. I just got to get that materials list down to the point where there's no questions behind it, Ruben. It's that important. I know I ran that thing by you last week or a couple of assignments ago where I said, okay, I'll play the client. And I asked all those questions. Those are all valid. Yeah, no, those are all fair game. All those questions are fair game. So think about it. All right. Awesome job. Any questions, comments, concerns, or anything at all, please get with me. All right. Thanks, man. Good job.